It's
Oh
double
no.
XP weekend on Grinder.
Listen, that's not the dumbest thing you've said.
Hey there, kids,
Listen.
it's Duke Nukem. Come enjoy double XP weekend, all weekend on Grinder.
If I pre-order Grinder at GameStop, do I get the special limited edition condom skins?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you got to prestige at gay sex first before you can unlock that.
Computers.
Welcome to your tech hell for this week, folks. I'm Frank, aka Dank Pasta. I'm joined by Vinyl Witch and Dr. Butler, and
So,
boy, have we got a show for you. We're going to talk about actual game censorship, what that looks like, what that means going forward, how we can resist it. We're going to talk about the UK age verification stuff. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. But first, how's everybody doing?
I'm very normal, very, very well doing. Things are normal outside. But no, real talk. I got burnt out on Ark, but I get back into it, and I've been making good progress. Also, I got really high last night and just binge watched fucking Dan to Dan.
Nice.
A good show. Has many characters.
many characters, many plots. I hear there's sets too.
Well,
Whoa. What about you,
Yeah,
Butler? How you been doing?
Well, I'm missing Evo to be here, but they're playing Sleep Fighter 6, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, good point.
well, I was doing good, but fucking my gold ship got dead last in this race. What are you doing?
Yeah, get good, horse. Come on.
You're going to the fucking glue factory. Race fatigue? That was only the second race.
Well, moving on from whatever the fuck's happening in the horse game, let's go to the opener. Do you want to see a guy destroy his entire family line?
Yeah, isn't this just the drill tweet?
Damn.
Yeah, let's get that one more time here.
Uh,
I don't know what the plan was. I think he just let go of the brake by accident, but
yeah.
Let's get that one more time.
Yeah, let's run it back.
right there. The trunk opens.
Yeah, anti-natalists, like, have gotten really dire with their actions lately, huh?
Yeah, this is one of the anti-natalist patrol out here, making sure that motorcyclists can't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's children disappeared like in Back to the Future.
I've never watched any of those movies.
Oh, you ride a motorcycle the Wednesday? That's sick.
Watch out for your nuts, then.
Yeah, don't do this. If you ride a
Or
motorcycle, don't do this.
Trying to give yourself blunt impact vaginoplasty.
And if you ride a golf cart, don't do this.
The Scottish hospitality.
There were Sky News questions, sure.
Mr. Trump, can you escape the Jeffrey Epstein crisis?
Maybe that's why we heard this.
What's that song?
I don't know, it's very famous though.
It's from a musical.
Yeah.
Memories.
Music boomed out from the convoy of golf carts, drowning out the surrounding sound.
What?
Are you enjoying the Scottish hospitality?
Yeah, he's...
There was Sky News.
Trump is out here he was on his golf holiday in Scotland, and, you know, he's apparently blasting memories from cats at himself while golfing.
Look, if he was just out as like a caddy, like fucking queen from New York, I think I would like him a lot better. But you don't elect that person to be president.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, dudes can be into musicals, that's fine. I don't even think there's anything particularly, like, you know, queer or, like, gay about that necessarily. It's more so all of his support base are guys who, like, eat raw meat and
Yeah.
I don't know, like kill badgers with their bare hands and shit, or at least pretend
Well, no,
to
they
online,
actually do
and
it. They
then
just LARP
this.
it. They don't actually do that. They just LARP about doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing, like, a lot of the manosphere, like, I like to think of some of it as just rage bait, where it's like, this is my morning routine. I wake up at 2 in the morning. I never sleep. I pour my face in the cold water, and I work out for 20 hours. My problem with all those is, one, they're fake. Fake and gay. Two, there's no free time to do what you want. You're aura farming, but you're not doing anything. You're just like building up your image, but you're not like using your image at all.
Yeah, right?
You're aura farming, but you're not aura living.
Yes, exactly. You know what? I thought we moved on as a society from aura substance or substance. Fuck. What's the word when you farm just enough to
Subsistence.
survive? Subsistence. Aura of subsistence. I can't even fucking talk, man.
Or a Metal
This is
Gear
my
Solid
one.
3.
Look, a good aura farmer knows when to harvest and sell their aura at the aura farmers market. All right, come on.
Yeah, you gotta
can't just keep
it's the crop-
cultivating indefinitely. Yeah,
It's the aura crop rotation. You like sometimes the ground gets a little too tired, you know.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what
well,
Trump's doing here. He had to rotate his aura over to musicals temporarily because all the nutrients required for balls out manliness were depleted from all of the manly activities that he's normally engaging in, like golfing.
I don't know why there's something so American about a president just having a convoy of fucking golf carts playing like shitty music in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is what the founding fathers died for.
look, I'll just say this: if your Riz patty is not getting enough water, you got to learn how to like origate. You know?
Yeah, I think Sun Tzu said that.
Yeah.
Moving on. So
Bad.
there was another guy who was Blue Sky's main character for a bit, who was going around, doing the classic, oh, the left doesn't know how to address men not getting laid, and that's why blah, blah, blah. This is apparently someone talking about a DM that this dude sent her.
Are we ready? Well, apologies if this is too forward, but I came across your profile again, and I was wondering if you wanted a real and respectful guy to come give you the attention which you deserve, and that deep tissue massage that you may have been dreaming of. All of your hard work deserves some recognition, with some quality me time for you to unwind and properly relax. I am willing to worship you every inch the way you desire.
God.
If you are craving a full body rubdown, then I will deliver satisfaction guaranteed. And multiple times over and over again, allow my big, strong, talented hands glide up and down your spine with the best organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. Head to
Cold-pressed coconut oil.
Trick therapy with an ending to leave you melting. One of those eyes rolling back, toes curling, completely soaking wet moments. Coming from a discreet, tall, and handsome
Discreet.
who can prove it. Smiley face. Real DM that I got yesterday. Real DM that I got yesterday.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a lot better than some DMs you can get from guys. I'm just putting that out there.
That's better? I
Okay, Frank,
know
I know you're
the
straight.
depths that DM hell goes, but like, that's better?
I asked on my
People
own
in my DMs.
I asked on my dating profiles, try to guess my favorite Zaku, and I got dick pics. Okay, that's not a Zaku.
Yep.
That's not a perfect grade Zaku. I'm sorry. It's the Zaku 1 sniper variant. That's my favorite one.
At least this nice guy shit is like entertaining. Like on Grindr, I just usually get guys who are like, one suck.
Suck? How tall are you? Asian? No, I'm serious. The race thing is very important to some people on Grindr. I'm not joking. It's very weird.
Like, how tall are you? Oh, Asian. That's how tall I am.
Okay, that would kill it.
Yeah,
No, that message, like, that was actual effort put into it, and especially about the coconut oil. I'm just like, okay.
Oh, come on. That was totally ChatGPT write me a DM. Like, there's no way. I mean, okay, so it wasn't particularly eloquent or anything. There is a way where, like, a dude actually wrote that shit. I just don't want to picture a world where someone wrote that shit. And I'm not saying that you can't say stuff like that in DMs with somebody and have it be successful. Just generally, not as the first one, I would imagine. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it works sometimes. Who am I to judge some of the most cringe-ass shit I've ever heard?
I mean, like, better than getting a message just being like, you bought them? Like, wouldn't you like to know?
One of these days we need to go through both of your, like, worst Grindr messages.
Oh, yeah, let's do that fucking now.
No,
I'm opening it right now.
I've deleted that shit. I have cleared my messages. I don't want to remember that time in my life.
I mean, it's going to be more entertaining than the hits of my OkCupid profile, which include, what video games do you like? I don't know all of them.
That's a good answer.
Look, okay, it may not seem it. It's okay if you message a woman if they're interested in video games. Trust me, they're probably as big as a dork as you are.
Oh yeah, that is how I got married. Yeah.
Get over the women don't play video games. But the player base in Final Fantasy 14 is women. Women love video games. Just ask them. Just be like, hey, babe, you wanna suck dick and play Front Mission 3 with me? It'll work. It'll work on women. Tag yourself. I'm women.
So here's my inbox. I have not been on in a while, but you're so handsome from someone with no profile pic. Hey, someone with no profile pic. Hey, some normal looking guy says, hey.
Yeah, it's
all
always
normal looking.
Just hey.
Yep, here's hi from Bob, not real name with no profile pic. Someone named B. What you looking for? Dr. Chest with his pecs out. Hey, and then eyeball emojis. Photo received. Photo received. Need a blowjob? Photo received. We can only imagine what those photos received are.
Man, it really is just like fucking going to Kmart for you guys, huh?
Yes. Listen, hopefully maybe some of those photos received will be like redemption codes for the Taco Bell items in Tony Hawk 3.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone have any spare codes, by the way?
Or it's going to be Chipotle meals from Evo.
It's double XP weekend on Grindr.
Listen. That's not the dumbest thing you've said.
Hey there, kids. It's Duke Nukem. Come enjoy double XP weekend. All weekend on Grindr.
If I pre-order Grindr at GameStop, do I get the special limited edition condom skins?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you got to prestige at gay sex first before you can unlock that.
Okay. But you know, half of these guys are not going to use a condom.
Yeah, yo, it's like a camo print condom. It's my camouflage, for when I'm infiltrating. I'm flanking them from the rear.
This is my tier 1 operator condom. This is used for deep insertions into enemy territory.
I named my
penis
tier 1 operator. All right, that's enough talk about gay shit. Now on to more different gay shit. Butler has given me what is probably going to be the worst way to introduce this segment, but I'm still doing it.
Hell yeah.
Time to play games!
Brilliant.
In retrospect, I should have made something explode at the end.
Yeah,
explosions in our hearts.
He was kind of throwing it back though. I gotta say, that booty got me acting up.
Yeah, he did kind of just walk out and immediately spit liquid all over himself.
Yeah, but like, why though?
I have no idea.
Why? Who made that? No, not the YouTube poop. That was funny. I meant the actual video. Like, why? Who's this for?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's
like,
for Russell fuckers. It's for guys who are like, man, I never stopped being 12 years old, even though I'm like 37 now. You know, it would be really cool. What if Triple H knew the president?
Time to play the game. Okay, we need that.
Yeah.
We need that as a fucking sound effect on the soundboard.
Okay, that's gonna have to do it. I'm trying to eliminate the fucking seam on the sides of this window. And I'm doing it live
Hey,
because it's
women-
incredibly entertaining, and I know how to do a podcast.
Women love the seams, especially on the balls.
Okay. So yeah, we are talking about gay-ass games and other video games that are currently being censored by pernicious corporations. But first, some of the stupidest shit that I've ever seen. I'm not going to go into this whole article. It's just another AI puff piece. But this quote I wanted to just read. Most experts acknowledge that a takeover by artificial intelligence is coming for the video game industry within the next 5 years. And executives have already started preparing to restructure their companies in anticipation. After all, it was one of the first sectors to deploy AI programming in the 1980s, with the 4 ghosts who chase Pac-Man each responding differently to the player's real-time movements.
It's New York Times.
Who fucking wrote this? The caveman?
Maybe it was AI.
So, here's the thing. If you're talking about like game AI, right? Like responding to the player's actions in a way that seems to simulate intelligence at least enough for the game being played. Sure, Pac-Man ghosts, whatever. Like, I guess, I mean, there's other video games that you could point to that came out before Pac-Man that did similar things, but, you know, I'm not going to expect a New York Times contributor to know an iota of history. But AI in the modern, like, that's AI in the modern sense. The fucking Blinky from Pac-Man is going to replace the programmers at, like, I don't know, Bungie or something. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I got several things I want to say. You don't expect them to know their history. Why are they writing an article, though? You don't have to do that.
I don't know, like, Sam Altman's check cleared, so here we are.
Fuck. God, we really do live in, like, the fucking dumbest universe.
Yeah,
Who keeps on giving Sam Altman money? He's a money-burning machine. None of his shit makes money.
I want that dude to disappear like his eyebrows have. You know, he I don't even want to bother, like, actually talking about it in depth, but he was on the AI doomsaying circuit again, which is really just, it's more publicity, like him saying, oh, I'm going to make an AI that's going to kill all of us. That's still implying that his AI functions and can do things other than, like, I mean, I guess ChatGPT might kill all of us by, like, giving most of the population a bespoke mental illness. Like, it's sure great at doing that, we've seen, but I don't know, man. Other than that, I think it's just kind of like, it's a toy. They're not going to get what they want with it. And even if they do get what they want with it, what are the knock-on implications for, like, how our economy functions? I don't think that anyone's really bothered to think that out well. Or if they have, I feel like they've come to the conclusion along, like, the Curtis Yarvin lines of, oh, there's a bunch of excess people that we have to get rid of now or something.
Yeah, it's a fun toy, and I would, like, actually use it if it did, like, burn the planet up and just steal everything.
There's that aspect of it, too. Like, yeah, the way these AI data centers are being deployed for extremely frivolous things is just going to continue to choke the life out of the planet and, you know, fuck up neighborhoods where poor people live, because they can't do anything to stop it. But moving on from that, so last week, or like a week and change ago, I can't remember, time's a flat circle, a bunch of games went missing randomly off of Steam for reasons that turned out to be down to an Australian lady getting really, really, really angry at Grand Theft Auto. The group Collective Shout, who's ran by an Australian activist, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I can't remember her fucking name. I don't really care to remember her name. Collective Shout is enough to know about. Anyway, they petitioned MasterCard and Visa to censor all of the NSFW content off of Steam, and after that, itch.io, which it's not just porn games that are being targeted, like, or games that are beyond the pale in terms of even being rateable or what have you. It's also things like Detroit Become Human, because it portrays an abusive relationship semi-accurately, or at least as accurate as David Cage can get. Or Grand Theft Auto 5 because, and I quote, "You can kill hookers for points." Yes, the old Jack Thompson quotes are back, people. Anyway, a bunch of censorship goes through because I keep doing that. MasterCard and Visa threaten to take their ball and go home payment processing wise if Valve and Itch and whatever site that this group is targeting next, I assume they didn't stop, of course, kowtows to their demands. So now we're here after a bunch of people have rightfully started complaining and clogging up MasterCard and Visa's phone lines, just calling out this bullshit for what it is, draconian censorship by an unelected third party. And MasterCard's trying to blame, like, some payment backend that both it and Visa are tied to or use, and they were trying to say, oh no, we didn't ask for censorship, we just passed this along to this organization that then asked for censorship, which apparently, like the Swift payment processing system that got revoked in sanctions, apparently if you aren't able to access this thing, like, you just can't process transactions at all via MasterCard or Visa. So Valve finally got up off of its ass after MasterCard essentially trying to throw them under the bus and saying, like, oh yeah, they just did that, we don't know why. We certainly weren't putting pressure on anybody. And Valve has finally made a statement that MasterCard didn't communicate that with them directly. They just leaned on this organization to get them to censor all of the material that, let's see, is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value. Images of non-consensual sexual behavior, sexual exploitation of a minor, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part, and bestiality, which they're trying to widen the definition out to, of course, include any discussion of LGBTQ topics at all. But yeah, Valve finally just came out and said, yeah, no, that's bullshit. You totally forced our hand to censor this stuff. Itch already was just pointing out who was making them do these things. And yeah, that's where we're at. We have MasterCard and Visa being yelled at. We have people, like, we have Valve and Itch and these large companies that are being targeted, naming who's doing this to them. And yeah, it remains to be seen what's going to come of this, whether or not these rules stand. Last time there was a big kerfuffle around OnlyFans and MasterCard. OnlyFans ended up complying, so we'll have to see. But I was wondering what both of you thought of this.
I've said it before, it's very troubling to have big money try to dictate your morality. It's giving me the, like, your workplace trying to dictate how you live your life outside of work vibes. And enforced morality almost never works. It never works. And it doesn't matter if it's like official or in this way unofficial. Wielding power to try to dictate someone's like morality or trying to I don't know, pave the gay away. Is that a phrase?
It is now.
I think
that's really good,
now.
actually.
Try to pay the gay away by using the power of capital to exclude queer people out of making art, because that whole like bestiality that applies to furries, and furries overwhelmingly they're gay as fuck. I'm sorry, there's some flavor of queer. I'm sorry, it's kind of with the territory, you know. More importantly, this should worry you, because if they can and have the willpower to do this against queer people, that could be easily directed at you.
Yeah, I do want to know where, like, the Asmongold's and the guys who, you know, complain, the games aren't horny anymore, are during all of this. I haven't seen one shred of footage from any of these guys who, you know, complain about, like, woke haircuts and women having features like, you know, human hair and skin. I haven't seen any of them complaining about this, probably because they agree with it in some fashion, or at least agree with most of it, not understanding that if this woman got her full way, if these organizations got their full way, they wouldn't be able to play the new GTA that's coming out, which I do think that'll be an interesting wrench that gets thrown into the works here, because apparently Rockstar's expecting to get like $700 billion or something ridiculous off of that game.
The fucked up thing is, it might.
Yeah, I mean, the last GTA, like, billion is a stretch. I think it was like 700 million. But, like, that's a crazy amount of money. But
like, it costs 300. The budget is 300 million. So,
which
I actually did the math. They're gonna have to become the 25th best-selling video game in history of all time, or better, just to break even. With a budget like that, which is just unsustainable.
Oh, yeah.
That's insanity.
This is getting into Marvel movie territory, and
yeah,
we're not talking about a movie ticket where, like, you know, at worst it's $20 a throw, which I can't believe movie tickets are like $20 fucking now, depending on where you go.
$100 games, love it.
Yeah, but like that game's gonna be like $80 at launch, and that's for like the base version. If you want any bells or whistles, they're gonna charge you more for that. So we're talking like, you know, they want $100 outlay on average, and who's spending $100 on video games right now? I know I'm sure not.
Like $300 million though. Yeah, that's an astronomical sum of fucking money to spend on a project. Like,
we all know it was wasted on superfluous details that don't need to exist at all.
Oh yeah, these are the people who did the realistic horse testicle animation.
Yep. You don't need to render every skin pore on your character model, you know?
I mean, where else is that money gonna go? Like, you need to have Metal Gear Solid 5 levels of horse poop physics.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, you know, like the protagonists in GTA 6 are gonna have like fully functioning they'll have like a full set of organs that function in real time. You know, he's not just like a 3D model walking around. It is an actual like simulation of the universe. He breathes oxygen in real time. When he eats, it's not just triggering a timer. Like the entire, like, they simulate the entire process of human digestion.
Oh, they wouldn't do that. They would be like, oh, it's ball semen retention, no nut November Kegel like simulation. They wouldn't do something gay like
that's a mini game.
Breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they'd have a mini game where you have to like spin the sperm between each ball and like an infinity pattern, and that's how you stay young forever.
Just a sperm like shoving around boxes on a grid. Continuing on with this news item, so you're seeking out new payment processors who are more comfortable with adult material. They're re-indexing their NSFW content that's at least being sold for free. There have been a lot of takes on the itch of it all and whether or not they should have complied like this instantly, but I truly don't know if if I were the one guy, right, the guy in charge of King of Itch, right, I don't know what I would do differently than what he did, really, because the only other option here is cutting off your ability for anybody to make any money at all from Itch, really, because it's not just MasterCard or Visa that they wouldn't be able to use. They can't use PayPal, they can't use Stripe, they can't use any other company that follows the same content guidelines as MasterCard or Visa. So they do have to seek another payment processor for stuff like this, but in the moment, unfortunately, that might have been the only move available, or else... I don't think that what Valve did was the best option because they just yanked it and didn't say anything. I think being forced to yank it, but then pointing out, hey, we're being forced to do this here by who, here's by who, here's who you should contact. That might have been the only thing to do, because otherwise you would have a bunch of people who can't make money at all on this stuff. I don't know. What do you think?
As far as the Itch thing, kind of like soft complying is probably the best bet, while simultaneously notifying the community of what is happening. Steam has no excuse.
Yeah.
Itch is relatively small compared to the monopoly on online game purchasing, which is Steam, which has the power to fight back. They have a lot more leverage than Itch, but Itch is actually sticking by its indie developers because they rightfully know indie developers is how we make our fucking money, and not Grand Theft Auto 69.
Yeah.
It was a gun to the head situation. I'm kind of... I don't know. I'm more concerned about the forest than the trees, though. To me, it is really scary to see the private sector just immediately capitulate and bend the knee to fascism, because that's what this is about. They want to lube the Führer's cock. They want to get on his good side. So it's like we're boiling frogs right now with this shit. Because a lot of people, they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh yeah, they're banning lolly and incest games. Ew, that's gross. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, but they always start with something that's really agreeable. Like, lolly is gross. Yeah, of course, everyone's going to agree to that. But then, they keep ratcheting it to the right, and it's like a slow boil. The next thing is like, oh yeah, furries, they're kind of weird. Let's ban that. And, one thing comes after another, and the next thing they're like, we need to ban the transgender degenerates. And it's like, that's where we are right now. We're at the beginning. This is always how it starts.
Oh, yeah. It's laid out exactly in Project 2025 like this. First, you ban porn under the ostensible, porn and objectionable material under ostensibly protecting the children. Then you widen the scope of what pornography is to include any discussion of LGBTQ, or even really just any topic that these people don't like. I was watching a Stephanie Sterling video recently where her last one before going on a major hiatus, which congratulations to her. She's apparently doing great in games writing, and I wish her all the success in the world. But she was pointing out how she was watching a video where someone had to was talking about the Holocaust and had to censor the word Holocaust.
Oh God.
Ooh, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, if you remove the ability for people to talk about or experience the full nature of reality, then you're lobotomizing them. That's just honestly what it is. And yeah, Crimson, hating demographics is always a domino effect. Because these people are insatiable. They can't stop. It's not... No matter who they're targeting now, it's not going to stop with them. Historically, we've seen it doesn't stop at the first group targeted because fascism is an inherently unstable, nonsensical ideology that requires a consistent revolving enemy that by its very nature is required to be like the most powerless enemy possible, who is then inflated via lies to be some massive boogeyman. Like we've seen this before. We are unfortunately seeing it again. I do think that it's promising that there is a lot of resistance to this stuff, including it's just seeking out alternative methods, people clogging up those phone lines. There's a backlash to this. It also, like, I think that this happening at the same time as, like, you know, the Colbert thing, triggering all the libs, or a bunch of other little bits of censorship, including this UK age verification stuff that I'm actually just going to move up a bit here in our coverage.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is good that the libs are triggered. You know, the more
no,
people
I'm not saying that
complain,
as
the better.
like that's, you know, negative or not worth paying attention to, but like I do think that got everyone's late night watching grandma to realize what the hell's going on, or at least a segment of it. But
silencing opposition, very normal. Much freedom of speech.
Oh yeah, totally. I also just kind of like, I think the final word on this for me, and maybe this is a super libertarian stance, I don't think that these payment processors should have any guidelines on this stuff whatsoever. Like, just do the payment processing. Ideally, I don't think these payment processors should exist, and this infrastructure should be handled by the state, or, like, you know, just public infrastructure. I don't get the idea of having private banking like this who are able to dictate the terms for what people see. Just take the money, facilitate the exchange, and like conform to the laws that are on the books already. You don't need to add in additional stuff, because the last time that I checked, and as it should be, CSAM's illegal. That's why it's called sexual abuse material. Like, it's what are we doing here?
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Well, it's because we live in America and everything needs to be privatized. We have private prisons.
Yeah. Yeah, extremely efficient private prisons, because, you know, like, having to break off a big chunk of money for whatever you're doing and give it to a bunch of shareholders and executives, that's efficient. But anyway, the last thing in gamer shit here is apparently TERFs got hooked out of a bar after throwing shit at a trans darts player who is apparently really good at darts. Noelin von Leven, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm not a big darts head. I just think that this is incredibly fucking stupid, given that this isn't a gendered competition. There's no, like, women and men compete in the same league because it's darts. It's throwing a thing and another thing. Not like you're aiming at a target. You're not even trying to throw the thing really hard. What's going on?
Have you considered that trans women have an unfair advantage at throwing tiny darts at a board? Idiot.
Yeah, I forgot. Estradiol really makes it so that you can, like, zero in on the part of the dartboard you're supposed to hit, because I learned that it's not the bullseye, it's one of the things around the bullseye, because I don't know.
It's more consistent.
I guess, like, you get more points that way if you hit, like, the little ring instead of the bullseye.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be a harder target, but it's more consistent.
They have a better practice at throwing it at pictures of Trump. Yeah, that's it. But no, this is incredibly fucking stupid. It's stupid all over. Like, even in, like, sports that have gendered leagues, because the idea of there being any advantage to being, like, a trans woman in sports, and it's always trans women specifically, because this all boils down to misogyny in a way that I'll point out in a second, but, like, the idea that there's any sort of advantage that trans women have over cis women in these sports hasn't borne out. Riley Gaines, or whatever her name is, who made that trans swimmer's life hell and continues to go around the right-wing shithead circuit. She was in competition for 5th fucking place.
Yeah, she made being a fucking loser a professional identity, which, if you're conservative and you hate the right people, works.
Yeah, like, if we're going for, like, evidence-based whatever the fuck, shouldn't almost every category of sport be topped out by a trans woman, like in women's sports? And the reason why it is exclusively women's sports that gets talked about is because there is an inherent misogynist assumption that men are better than women at sports, and these women aren't actually women because they're trans, so they're going to be better because I don't know, penises are magic or something? Like, they give you magic sports ability.
It's always a misogynist. Men are better than women at literally everything, and trans women are men, so I mean they're probably better. It's a weird patriarchal it's a self-imprisonment that a lot of second wave feminists have been stuck in. I'm a little concerned that they haven't really moved on from the second wave feminists' biggest problem was a lot of those people are fucking really racist. And a lot of the shit you can say about trans women, like all the stereotypes, they're manly, invading our restrooms, they said about black women back in the day. Explicitly the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is trans women are replacing their hormones, so what advantage would they have? Like, what are you talking about?
That is another question here, because if we want to talk about the marginalization of black cis women in these sports, Caster Semenya, I believe was her name, the runner who constantly gets caught up in this shit for having too much tea or something in her bloodstream, which, here's the thing about people who are good at sports, they generally have bodies that are attuned to building muscle and recovery. Like, if you Harrison Bergeron here, which is, an old story about, evening out people in sports, and in life in general by, giving them horse blinders or, handicapping them in some way. But if you start trying to apply that, you end up with standards that are going to exclude cis women, and already have the hormonal testing standards. Or if you go even further, a lot of cis male swimmers and cis female swimmers, they have a wingspan that is the length of their arms larger than the average person, which makes them better at swimming. Should they be allowed to compete because they have the special good swimming arms? What's the point of your competition here?
I will say I could have gone professional full-time athlete, okay, back in the day. I'm not even kidding. At a certain point, training and form and general competence at your sport there is a limit that you will reach that you can only get through genetic lottery. I'm sorry, it sucks. That is the truth. There is a hard ceiling in a lot of sports that you will run into if you just don't win the genetic lottery. It sucks. I mean, that's sports. It's a competition, and people shouldn't be disqualified based on how they're born.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem here is that since sports is seen as a career path and thus a way to make money, it's tied up in this idea of people, and by people I mean cis white guys usually, being outcompeted unfairly in the marketplace of people who throw things really good. But I do think that it's worth pointing out as an example of how fascists will just move on to the next targeted group available. So we know that Trump has gotten colleges to rescind a bunch of DEI programs. The menswear guy posted this recently. This is just a compilation. Apparently, a photo went viral of a bunch of people at a fancy dinner who graduated to Harvard or Stanford. These are all American college kids or college graduates. I don't know how old these people are supposed to be, but they're all Asian American, and that Asian Americans are supposed to be the model minority, right? That was the minority that the DEI people didn't have a problem with because blah 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 whatever. Now we just have a buffet of absolute racist trash from the same Twitter shitheads who were complaining about DEI in the first place. Like, because apparently the fact that, and I don't even know if it's true, obviously, but like the very idea that these people, like, due to something inherent about Asian culture, exam maxed, I think someone called them, like, yeah, exam maxing Kumon monsters, which Kumon is like an after school tutoring thing.
Yeah.
Which has honestly the most hilarious logo I've ever seen.
It's the funny little smiley guy, right?
Yeah, it's like this is how everyone feels about after school tutoring. This is the perfect logo for after school tutoring.
That's so fucking real, though.
But yeah, like, all these right-wing freaks just, like, doing their best, like, pulling their eyelids back and not pronouncing their R's correctly shit over people that they were supposedly fine with because, I guess, understanding, like, being good at school and being good at taking exams and studying isn't what Ivy League colleges are actually looking for. They're looking for, I don't know, something inherent to white people.
Yeah, the thing that always, like, kind of sticks with me with this, like, having innate race bonuses is the idea that, like, oh, you know, Asian people on average score higher on tests, have more high-paying careers. Like, what, do you think white people are, like, fucking stupid or something? Are you like, oh, these people are so smart, I wish I was smart, my genes should make me smart? But, like, I guess along the lines of, like, fascist ideology of, like, ooh, we're the Ubermensch, but, like, if you lose boxing matches or, like, Olympic races, like, where does your brain go?
Well, what happens, like, so they do believe that there's an inherent racial hierarchy of people who are, like, supposed to be better at everything than others based solely on their skin color or where they come from. And when that idea breaks down, because it's a stupid fucking idea, they have to reach for, oh, you did it unfairly. You're not supposed to be here because you're only here because DEI. Okay, we get rid of DEI. You're only here because you knew how to grind and exploit the tests. Meanwhile, if you want to talk about actual access to college or higher education and who's blocking it, this shithead here on the right posted this photo of the Skull and Bone Society. Like, this is what Ivy Leaguers are supposed to look like. These guys right here, and I believe that George Bush is right here. These are the guys who are making it so that you can't get afford a good education and thus need an incredible exam score or something. Like, and the DEI programs were a stopgap to help address that, although honestly I would argue that a lot of DEI programs were implemented specifically so that things like the civil rights laws that are on the books aren't actually enforced by the state. It's just more of, oh, we'll police ourselves. We'll handle doing the regulation that you require of us ourselves, so that the state doesn't have to look into it. But, like, the guys who dismantled those programs, these guys right here, the DEI initiatives include poor white people, or not even necessarily poor white people, just people who didn't score well on the standardized tests because standardized tests are bullshit. George Bush, by the way, the guy who gave us the No Child Left Behind Act, which gave us way more standardized testing. Thanks.
Who may have been involved in the JFK assassination?
That was his dad. I believe that this is a photo of W. It's also going to be very funny when I'm just circling the wrong guy and this is a photo of HW somewhere.
No, that's his. Wait, no. Is that not his dad? He looks like his dad. Well, looked.
They do look alike, yeah. But I don't know. Either way, all the Skull and Bones creeps. That's why you can't get good college. It's not because of Asian people.
And also, if you want to talk about like getting mad at degeneracy, those people were fucking perverts with that skull. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, they did all fuck and then come in that skull.
They limp biscuit that fucking skull.
Yeah, that's what Fred Durst was writing about, actually, the Skull and Bones Society. That's what all of his work has been about.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about more censorship, shall we?
It all comes back down to cum. Why does all of our fucking episodes talk about cum and skulls?
It all comes back to skull fucking here on Tech Hell. It all comes back to skull fucking. So, if you're not aware, the UK recently passed the Online Safety Act, which it requires age gates on... It was supposed to be just porn. It's not just porn, of course. Because apparently Spotify in the UK is forcing age gates on explicit content. So I hope you like giving your ID to, I don't know, Walmart, essentially. But yes, Spotify's now forcing age gates on explicit content. So it's not just porn. Not only is this an extremely draconian move by the government for all the reasons that we stated in the discussion on MasterCard and Steam and Itch, but this is the state now enforcing it. The UK has also, you can't even say the words Palestinian Action because it's a prescribed group and that can land you in jail there, I guess. But what this article points out is that these third-party age verification tools, which is one of the... There's 3 routes that you can verify your age. You can either do so via credit card transactions, uploading your ID, which a lot of people aren't comfortable with, obviously. Or you can use one of these third-party verification companies. And I assume if you do it once, it's supposed to work for all of them, or at least everything using these companies. There's 3 big ones, and the people who head up these 3 companies, or at least are invested in these 3 companies, are Elon Musk, for the one Twitter's using, which is an Israeli firm, by the way. Authentics?
Whatever. Byline Times. News and
No, I didn't ask you to read it. Shut up.
For much more exclusive content edited by me.
Much more exclusive content.
Yeah, I want to save it too.
Kids
Web really Services used by Blue Sky, which is apparently from Epic. So Tim Sweeney runs this. And finally, the one that Reddit uses is Persona Identities Incorporated, which was funded for $200 million by the Founders Fund, which is Peter Thiel's VC firm. So it's all your favorite guys from all your favorite fascist group chats who are behind this latest push to restrict speech in this way.
Are you telling me that it's the same people being their same weird freak-ass derogatory selves by dictating morality through capital? Nah, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, this can be defeated with a VPN.
I'm sorry, I'm going to go off. It's the same fucking people every time. Every day I wake up, and it's the same fucking people.
Yeah, it's...
Sam Altman makes a child grinding machine, and he goes, oh, man, that's fucked up. Why did someone do that? And then Peter Thiel's like, I want children's blood. Also, I'm going to spend money on the worst ideas and people you have ever heard of. Also, transphobia.
Also, J.D. Vance. Enjoy him.
Oh, man. He's got access to so many fucking couches in the White House. I would not sit in any of those in the meantime. It'd be like sitting on like a milk-filled like stuffed toy, you know?
Yeah, J.D. Vance has fucked every couch in the White House personally. This can be bypassed via VPN. It can also apparently be bypassed by like Death Stranding and Gary's mod screenshots, which is just hilarious. Like,
someone did a video of the rundown of doing that. It's so good.
Wow. Great full screen there, Elon. Apparently it's on Discord too. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I do Final Fantasy 14 static rating, and one of our static members is from the UK. He just moved there to be with his partner, which good for him. Slash, I'm sorry, but good job of getting away from America.
Yeah, I mean,
he had to do that. He had to do that, and it's fucking embarrassing, man. I can't wait for a bunch of children to upload their photos, and then for this service to get hacked, like every other big like data collection service will always get compromised because of course they are. Of course they will. And no one ever stops for a second and think, maybe having a database of like children's faces is maybe a bad idea, especially in the age where the plagiarism machine can make like porn of children with their faces. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe someone should have thought of that. Maybe.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure that like letting the guys who are invested in and are behind the technology that allows people to just generate random videos, giving those people access to everyone's identifying information, that's probably a really good idea too, even if there's no breach. Giving these guys, these trustworthy men, access to everyone's IDs and photos and like video of you like moving your face in a way that assumedly you would move your face. Like, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be real cool.
Very, very cool.
So yeah, I don't know. Do whatever you can to bypass that shit, because fuck that. Let's see here. I think now we're going to briefly touch on this NYC executive shooting. So if you're not aware, this guy walks right past some NYPD officers.
Because of course he did.
With an AR-15, and apparently, according to most coverage I've seen on this, they're saying that he was targeting the NFL, which like apparently, both like BlackRock, the NFL, and a bunch of other shit had headquarters in this building on Park Avenue. They're saying this guy was targeting the NFL, but he meant like the person that one of the people that he actually killed was this woman, Wesley LePatner, who Blackstone, sorry, not BlackRock. I get them confused, but yeah, she oversaw a $53 billion real estate investment fund. She was killed in that shooting, and apparently Blackstone had bought up a ton of property in Vegas and drove up housing prices there, and this guy was from Vegas, so I'd say there's probably some willful disconnect going on here, and honestly, the media just kind of let this one go, it seems, rather than talking about it a ton, probably because they don't want another Luigi on their hands. But I do think that it's very telling that this obituary for this woman ends in, for this story, Fortune used generative AI to help with an initial draft. An editor verified the accuracy of the information before publishing. This report has been corrected with regard to Wesley LePatner's age, which was reported as 44 because of human error. Sure. Yeah, they used AI to generate this obit because apparently they can't even be bothered to eulogize the executive properly anymore, which is incredible to me.
Well, that's woke. I mean,
it's woke.
Yeah, it's woke.
We live in a satire of reality.
But yeah, somehow the New York Times, in their coverage of it, tried to judo throw this into a criticism of Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah,
a guy who's not the mayor, and apparently, like this is because he had said that he wanted to disband the NYPD unit that was the one who ultimately responded to the shooting. But here's the thing. NYC is chock full of cops, especially in Manhattan. It's crazy. Like, there are multiple cops on every block. They're everywhere. They don't really do a ton aside from bip 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 on their phone playing Candy Crush. And yet this guy was still able to walk around in broad daylight with this gun. More cops is not the answer here.
Counterpoint. What if we just added more cops, though?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, with that guy, we need to assign an NYPD cop to every person, and they just hang out with you from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep. Like, you know, you're taking a shower, he's on the toilet, you're eating breakfast, he's hitting the coffee. And, you know, that'll solve all of these problems. More cops. Anyway, here's the man himself on the matter.
And so I'm proud of the public safety platform we've put together. And I would say that for the former governor to have spent an entire day speaking almost exclusively about me and barely about the New Yorkers who have been killed is indicative of the very politics New Yorkers want to leave in the past. We want to honor the New Yorkers who have been taken from us far too soon. We want to know their stories. They are not merely statistics. We want to know of their smiles, their hopes, their dreams. And yet here we have a former governor calling every reporter he can find to speak about tweets. What kind of leadership is that?
And yeah, I think that honestly, that's a good hat to put on this, is that why are you blaming a guy who's running for mayor as opposed to the current mayor, who's indicted, by the way, Eric Adams, or his opponent in this race, Andrew Cuomo, a guy who was already governor and thus already responsible for policy that led to this incident.
Frank, I just sent you the perfect meme for this situation. Go on.
I was going to say, this is a classic case of why didn't this brown man solve a problem that he had nothing to do with?
Almost as if he caused it. Because he didn't want to solve it, which means that he benefits from it not being solved, right?
Yeah.
I'm a very smart person. This isn't conspiratorial thinking at all. Fucking Zoran Mamdani. Well, speaking of this exactly, let's go to our Men Saying Words block. And guess who?
You mentioned slogans. Obviously, defund the police is one we've talked about today. Another one that's come up in the course of his bid is globalize the Intifada. Now, he's changed the way he's spoken about that recently, but I'm interested to know your perspective. Do you think the way he talks about that, again, many Jewish people believe that that's essentially a call to violence, hence related to public safety. Do you think that that's fundamentally anti-Semitic?
I think it fuels anti-Semitism. You know, when somebody says, well, is he anti-Semitic?
That was my next question.
Is somebody anti-Semitic? Is somebody racist? Is somebody a bigot? You have to have the ability to look into their soul, and that's above my pay grade. But does it fuel anti-Semitism? It certainly does. Globalized Intifada is
he learned how to say it.
Kill Jewish people globally. That's what it is understood to mean. He said he discourages the use of that term but he's not the word police. He doesn't police words. But as mayor, you do police words, right? We have hate crime laws in this state. I passed the strongest hate crime laws in the United States of America. Hate speech that incites hate crimes, you do police. And it's not just the issue of anti-Semitism, which in and of itself, look, you can disagree with what Israel is doing vis-a-vis Palestine. That's your right. But you don't have a right to be anti-Semitic to the point where you then harass or disparage Jewish people in New York because you disagree with Israel's policy. That's the distinction. But whether it's anti-Semitic or it's anti-Italian, whatever it is,
really, dude?
to be
really?
advocating tolerance in New York City. And
that's why I love stop and frisk.
You couldn't resist, could you?
Spoken in the public school system.
Anti-Italian discrimination.
Mamma mia.
Incumbent on the governor to constantly try to find.
We need the Silvio. Yeah, get the Silvio meme.
If you start dividing people, and if you start hammering wedges,
hammering wedges, he continues.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, there's so many things wrong with this. One, why? Of course he couldn't help but bring up fucking Christopher Columbus, a genocidal maniac who people thought he was genocidal back in the day. This isn't even applying your modern morals to people in the past, which is a bullshit idea. Yeah, I'm sorry that people in the past were too fucking stupid to know slavery was wrong. I will say it is very funny that he's like, oh, that feels anti-Semitism. This fucking guy had the audacity to say that after he called Sukkots little mud and tree and leaf houses that Jewish people build every year for the needy, the poor, the homeless. It is supposed to be a temporary home for people in need. The community always builds it like fucking clockwork. It's a community thing to help people out. And he said, these people in their fucking tree houses. You want to talk about anti-Semitism? It's talking about Orthodox Jews and their fucking tree houses.
I don't know. This all sounds like anti-Italian discrimination to me. I don't know.
Mamma mia! Actually, if you think about it, Italians are the real Jews. If you think about it,
yeah.
Italy is actually really close to Israel. If you think about it.
I can't believe he hit the anti-Italian discrimination note. Why the fuck would that even have to be in the conversation?
Oh, because Mindani correctly pointed out that Christopher Columbus was a fucking psycho even back in his day.
I wanted to go to that Christopher Columbus rally that they were having last Monday or something. Yeah, I wanted to go to that so bad because it would have just been like being in the Sopranos episode.
It'd be like being in The Sopranos, but with more anti-Muslim slurs. And, it was a bunch of, really racist Italians and then really, really racist Zionists. And also, CNN, stop conflating Jews and Israel, please. I'm begging you, for once in your fucking life.
Yeah, we're talking about a guy who the majority of Jewish people in New York voted for. What are you talking about at this point?
The person who backed him up in the race, fucking Lander's Jewish. He may know more about anti-Semitism being a Semitic person than you. Andrew, I want to come and all the women owe.
I'm waiting for Como to call him a capo or something. I know what's going to happen.
Look, he's not a pervert. He's just Italian. Okay, I've taken that lesson to heart, and I've forgiven him for a lot. He's moved on as a person, I think.
Yeah, I think he's learned that he can't get past his pervertry because it's just a passive race buff that he has.
Yeah,
and it's really hard to turn off. Okay.
Yo, what is that? What is that D next to Cuomo's name? Does that stand for Dago? Is that Italian discrimination?
You can't say that. Oh, you can't say that.
Butler, I'm gonna need to see your Olive Garden unlimited pasta pass after this.
Listen, I'll just send you a picture of how hairy my arms are. That should count.
Okay,
there we go.
I'm gonna say this once and only once. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
What's the D next to? Oh man.
Also, wait. There's so many problems with this. One, the dual citizenship thing. Yeah. Two, talking to Andrew Cuomo about anything is a fucking exercise of futility. He doesn't know anything. Look at him. I mean, look at this guy. And also, he's running in the race as an independent. Get that D off of him.
Yeah, that is a good point too.
He's trying to put that D on in women, not the race.
Let's see what the rest of what he has to say is.
Anti-Semitic to the point where you then harass or disparage Jewish people in New York because you disagree with Israel.
New York.
That's the distinction. But whether it's anti-Semitic or it's anti-Italian, whatever it is, you need to be advocating tolerance in New York City.
Stop and frisk is okay, though.
Acceptance in New York City. We have 180 different languages spoken in our public school system. It is incumbent on the mayor, incumbent on the governor to constantly try to find tolerance and keep groups together. If you start dividing people and if you start hammering wedges into this society, you will fracture this community very quickly. There's already tensions that are out there, racial tensions, religious tensions, ethnic tensions. So the leader, the mayor, the governor, find a way to bring people together. They're finding their own ways to separate and divide. You want to find commonality and make diversity a strength. And that's what this anti-Semitism and his harshness on the topic really says to me, is he is a divisive personality. And that just does not work in this city.
Wait, hang on a second.
Personality is, he is a divisive personality. And that just does not work in this city.
Okay, there's a lot of things wrong with that. Again, it's letting him talk is a mistake. But also, like, division in our community, it's really bad sometimes. You're a governor. Didn't you solve that?
I'm tired of Zoran Mamdani targeting our innocent organ grinders and fat Italian mustache chefs with his reign of terror. You can't get good pizza in New York anymore. It's totally fucked up what he's doing to our city as the person who hasn't been elected mayor yet.
And also, people don't want that kind of division, People don't agree with his politics. That's why I lost in the race.
Here's what I think Cuomo's problem is.
He's Italian one.
Yes, that. But no, here's what I think his major problem is. He's running a governor's race. He's trying to get elected as governor again because he keeps saying all of this untrue bullshit about New York City like there's some sort of fucking sharks and jets ass Muslim Jew antipathy when the people who live in that city understand that that's not the case. And that's who you're trying to get to vote for you, dude. They know what's going on. You can't lie to them about what they can walk outside and see with their own eyes. It's not like the yokels upstate who will believe anything you fucking say about New York City, dude. You're not running the right race. And I can't believe that no one in his campaign has pulled him aside and told him this. And that's why I think that he's probably entirely fucking washed.
He's washed, but also... Again, if you wanna talk about division and racial tension, maybe don't give trillions of dollars to cops to stop and frisk and not stop shooters from just walking past you and gunning people down. It just seems like there's a whole bunch of problems with his logic, as in he's starting from a place of Mamdani is racist and anti-Semitic, and then working backwards from that because he thinks that will work. Unfortunately, I'm going to say it. Christian Zionists. Okay, if you want a little bit of an eye-opening statement on something, there are more Christian Zionists than Jew Zionists.
Yeah.
That's scary. The Jewish community ain't that big in America. It actually ain't that big in general, real talk. Well, for very obvious reasons. But, like, regardless of that, Christians wielding, like, oh, that's anti-Semitic. Like,
I'm sorry, were you making a point? Were you making a well-informed, intelligent point? Well, here's this. She bounces on my vajol till I come.
Sorry, I just had to get that out real quick. Anyway, what I'm saying is wielding the anti-Semitic, this is anti-Semitic bat on literally everything, has devalued the actual, like, claim of real anti-Semitism, which exists. It's shitty. It exists. It really, really upsets me that people are using fucking anti-Zionist rhetoric as just an excuse to be anti-Semitic in general. But I assure you, Andrew Cuomo everywhere, he's more anti-Semitic than what you think Mandani is. Calling fucking Sukkot houses tree houses, oh, these fucking people in their tree houses, is so fucking disrespectful to a community that your city's kind of known for. New York City's known for its Italian community. It's black, like really, really vibrant black community, but also your really, really tight-knit Jewish community. It's kind of one of the defining features of your city. And to call that something like, oh, these fucking tree people, is a little shitty and kind of makes me think that you don't mean anything you say. Almost like he doesn't mean anything he says. Maybe just a little bit.
Absolutely an empty suit.
If you know it, this is the problem. If you're uninformed and you don't know any of these subjects, he may seem reasonable. As soon as you lift the rock up just a little bit, you will see where his logic starts to scurry around like a bunch of bugs.
Yeah, bunch of New York cockroaches.
And more New York cockroaches, taking the real Italian jobs.
Well, let's not let let's not let the Italians accept all of the abuse here. Here's a wasp saying something moronic.
People. Well, as it's described in our Fox News editorial, this announcement, Mr. Secretary, drives a dagger into the heart of the climate change religion. Straight into the Obama climate change agenda it goes. So what is the goal here, and what will the overall impact be?
The goal is to restore confidence in science and data and rationalism. That's what enabled the creation of modern science. Then we slid back into sort of a cancel culture, Orwellian squelching of
scary words.
The science, as opposed to the process that is.
Why does the guy on the right look like Ted Cruz if you like de-aged him badly?
Overview of what do we know
you see it, right?
About climate science,
yeah,
about climate data,
well, I can see it.
And what impacts that might have on the American people. We're releasing that port for public comment and feedback.
Also, please say something. Stop staring at me like that.
Restore some common sense around climate change or energy, because the net result of what we've been doing is just impoverishing Americans, shipping jobs overseas, and doing pretty close to nothing on global greenhouse gas emissions.
Mr. Administrator,
American people.
So
okay,
that's a pile of lies, stupid. Obviously. We're doing close to nothing on global greenhouse gas emissions. Yeah, because we keep offsetting China's gains in reducing our greenhouse gas emissions because we think coal's a good idea.
And also the topping on the shit cake on the right talks about record heat in some areas being 112. I wonder why that is.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the real problem, though, is that it's our 1984 Brave New World Animal Farm. What was that shitty Ayn Rand one? It's like that, too. It's all the bad things that you've ever heard. That's what they're doing to science. They're taking science out back, and they're replacing it with their religion that says that we need to listen to scientists. And that's the huge problem here.
Listen, what you really need to understand is that the woke DEI illegal immigrant menace is trying to come and they're trying to trans your gender and turn you into a Mexican, which is why you have to subscribe to the Mug Club. Give me $100 a month for this coffee mug. See,
Mug Club, the number one mugged, the number one requested mug of divorced dads everywhere.
True.
It all comes back to divorce court. Yeah, you can drink those liberal tears out of that. Also your own, because you're divorced.
Yeah.
We should do an update. We should do an update on Steven Crowder. He's still a fucking loser, but like I want to dunk on him more because I hate him as a person and I wish he'd change, but he'll never do it.
Crowder with Crowder. Get it? Because he's a Nazi.
Wait, what? Sorry, I grabbed a... Yeah. Here's what the DOE is posting about Cole right now.
Do they want to fuck Cole? Like what? Like, what am I supposed to get from this? Am I supposed to get horny? Because it's kind of working. I mean, look at her. Look at those. Look at those sharp angles, though.
It's gonna be like when that guy brought that coal lump to Congress, except he's gonna bring it and then start fucking it on C-SPAN.
Wait, didn't someone do that in Australia?
Yeah. Maybe it was Australia,
yeah,
I don't know.
It was Australia. He's like, oh, this is so clean. I love touching it with my hands. He's saying immediately wiping his hands after. Man, I really wish the people that were making the world worse weren't so comically just upfront about it and just maybe the stupidest fucking people, because it makes me feel really bad. Like, I think the unrealistic expectation that people got from media is like the really evil corporate people were smart.
Images that make you rock hard. God damn it, Joe.
I warned you before. Stop being funnier than us or we're going to ban you.
Work of genius. Yeah, I also, like, language is just gibberish at this point. You can say, as long as you pack it with enough thought-terminating cliches and signifiers that, like, your base will catch on to, I guess, you can just say whatever you want.
You can go on camera and say Charlie Brown had hose, and no one will challenge you on that. And I think that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, well, speaking of Charlie Brown having hose, so we appointed Emil Bove, this Bond villain here, to like a federal court for life, with eyeing like a potential, like, when one of the right-wing shitheads retires, he just gets their Supreme Court spot. He's an entirely corrupt shithead, and here's Senator Cornpone on whether or not that's a good thing.
And I have repeatedly examined Patel, Bondi, all of President Trump's nominees. So I asked Bovee about it, and he said I didn't do it. The other point I'd make, I know we have a lot of whistleblowers, but let me see how I can put this case. If everyone is a racist, no one's a racist. If everyone's corrupt, no one's is corrupt. If my Democratic colleagues are going to trot out whistleblowers, 2 and 3 at a time, every time we have a nominee that they don't agree with, they sort of lose their efficacy. And that's the situation we're in right now.
Well, I mean...
and I have...
Okay, yeah, do we need to point out what's wrong with everything he just said, or... I know we're doing a podcast, but, like, that should be pretty self-evident from the clip alone, but I feel like we need to say it. What an incredibly stupid fucking thing to say.
If everybody's racist, nobody's racist. It's not possible that, like, everybody's racist, you know? I mean, statistically speaking, someone has to be lying, like, and it's not like, if everyone's... Look, you're trying to tell me that the entire Trump administration is made up exclusively of the world's stupidest, most corrupt shitheads possible? That doesn't make no sense. You get out of here. I didn't hear that in a fucking chicken field.
That I totally worked on, by the way. I wasn't some city slicker being like, I'm gonna wear a cowboy hat at the fucking Piggly Wigglies.
Yeah, this is a completely real accent that I did not practice at home, or I was born like this. I came out of the fever swamp after DuPont Company gained to grant me sentience via dumping their toxic chemicals into the worst hole possible. I was some sort of tree creature before that.
I was some sort of American bred
I lived in
monster.
the forest, and I had a bunch of friends, and then the DuPont Company poisoned me, and now I have to be a congressperson.
I have to take a lot of money. I need money to survive. I run off money. I will say, oh yeah, are you saying everyone in the Trump administration's weird? Then why are they hiring like every bad person from the WWE, the union busting weird fucking rich psychos like fucking Triple H is in the fucking White House? Like I'm surprised Hulk Hogan. I'm surprised Hulk Hogan didn't actually get a job. He would have been perfect for it because like he's shitty and anti-unions and he was like 2 steps away from dying. He would have been a perfect fit.
Well, what do you mean you don't want to appoint this here rotting corpse Bond villain man who was one of Trump's January 6th lawyers? Or what? You won't want him to be a judge?
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't believe in phrenology, but that guy is cop skull shaped.
Guess how old this man is, by the way.
Being a crazy Republican, probably he's probably like 20 and just looks like that.
No, he's like
Am
45.
He looks like he's fucking 60.
I know. Like, man, fucking, he must have got hit with the Sith lightning. Jesus. Yeah, that was a Star Wars reference. I don't fucking care. Fuck you. Anyway.
I love Spock in Star Trek.
Yeah, I love Spocking to Star Trek. The last piece of news that we're going to talk about. So, apparently, in 20 states, all coincidentally either Republican or having legislatures that are amenable to Republicans, the Trump admin is having National Guard troops process immigration paperwork in Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, South Carolina, Texas, of course, Utah, and Virginia. And apparently there's others, too, that aren't in the list. I don't know why you wouldn't just list all of them, but whatever. So, yeah, this is a complete violation of posse comitatus, that he's already been trying to fucking have. Essentially, he's doing everything he can to declare martial law without actually declaring martial law. I do think that I'm 2 minds on this. One, this is a dire warning of where we're at, like a lot of the things that we've talked about today. But also, these people are incredibly incompetent, and this could easily fuck them. Like, the potential for blowback here is crazy. They already had, between the stuff that they did during the LA protests where they deployed the National Guard and the stuff that they did during that stupid joint operation in the park that they did in LA, they already have, like, even like, full-on 3-letter agency Fed goons being incredibly demoralized and, like, pinging off of this shit, let alone guys who are just in the National Guard so that they can get the extra $20K a year by, like, I don't know, running around a football field in military gear once a month.
Which honestly is a lot more ethical than joining the military for money. Because at least the National Guard, in theory, is supposed to stay in the nation and you help out with, like, disaster relief rather than, I don't know, being a jarhead and, like, jerking off into the artillery cannon before shooting it because you're bored.
Yeah, Dad's Army, like, the war crime list is much shorter for the National Guard.
Except we sent the National Guard to Iraq a couple times, like...
That's why I said like, much shorter and not 0.
Yeah, it's, war... Explaining the war on terror to, like... Okay, I've said this before. There's a couple people in our static, the 14 static, that were born after 9/11.
Oh, man.
And having to explain to them the absurdity of, like, right after 9/11, how we all went collectively, like, really nuts and we never got over it, is wild to list off all the shit. But like deploying the National Guard, like a bunch of dads to fucking Iraq to get them like blown up and shit was also very wild. Sorry, that was a tangent. But, like, I was just thinking about that the other day.
No, that was a completely nonsensical time where we just, we killed like 2 million people at least in a country that had nothing to do really with 9/11 or any of that shit. We were angry, and Bush and Cheney wanted oil. That's it. The simplest explanation for the Iraq War is the correct one. They just wanted the resources.
Yeah, it doesn't really get more naked and blatant than that. Than like the first objective secured during shock and awe fucking Desert Dick Rider operation was to secure the oil fields. That was the first thing before literally anything else.
And also, I need to point out here the contours of how this could fuck him in the future. So what you have here is you have a group of guys who are trained in military stuff, ostensibly, right? Like, they understand their way around guns, they understand tactics. They're supposed to be, if necessary, the supplementary, already pre-trained backstop to the military adventurism that the U.S. Engages in, as evidenced by the Iraq War. But you're demoralizing and disgruntling these guys to the point where a lot of them want to get out as soon as possible, especially now that they see that they're like being used as like the Kent State hammer, or they're staying in but they still don't they don't follow your line, they don't believe in the Trump cause, they're pissed off at you now. And their command structure is such that orders from the governor of the states in question are just as valid as ones from the top. So, especially if the orders from the top are blatantly illegal, like these ones. And I'm not saying that all guard detachments are going to do cool shit, or even that most will do cool shit, but some will do cool shit.
Right. It's very important to point out that a lot of revolutions are actually started and fought early on by disgruntled military people that kind of felt like they're just kind of chewed and used up because they were kind of chewed and used up.
Oh yeah, that's how Lenin convinced the Red Army to join him.
Yeah, I want to state a historical fact. The first really famous act of rebellion against the Tsar government was a bunch of fucking sailors on a boat. I will say that it is what we're going to see is a bunch of National Army or National Guard guys doing the millennial trend of quiet quitting, where they do the bare minimum for their job, and you know what? Good for them, honestly.
These fucking millennial guardsmen, I swear. They're good for nothing, folks. Speaking of doing cool shit, so Angie the Ice Chaser is apparently a woman on TikTok who just follows ice vehicles in her car. She has never lost one. And she honks her horns and shouts, "They are ice." There's apparently a GoFundMe for her, which already got funded, like, instantly, which is awesome. That was just so that, like, she could get some repairs done on her car, I think. But, yeah, more people like this, please. Like, honestly, these people, like, ICE should be dogged to the ends of the earth. They should have our disapproval of what they're doing register. They should taste that in their mouth at all times.
Yeah, it's I want to say we are very fortunate to be living in a time where, one, we're all interconnected, for better or for worse, by the internet. We have all formed this collective hive mind that has gone a little nuts. By a little, I mean a lot. I will say we do have the absolute power of hindsight to know what a fascist government does, how it enforces its rules, and how to effectively fight it before we have to mobilize the fucking Red Army, like a fucking massive scale to blow up a fucking fascist army. We can kind of nip that shit in the bud. a little bit.
Yeah.
And it really sucks that like the people who had to live through it on hard mode had to do that because the evolution of the state into a fascist, like the final stages of capitalism, like no one really could have predicted that. Like Marx was maybe not the most correct when it came to that kind of shit because like why would he? Like fascism didn't really exist when he wrote all that shit.
No, another brilliant Italian innovation.
Yeah. God damn it. I will say, use every little bit of knowledge. It is very important that we do not forget the lessons of the people who suffered before us so we can build a world that we don't have to suffer as much.
Yeah, and I also think it's important to note that, like, no matter how much of a budget ICE is given, at least for now, they still need people to fill their ranks. And if other people push against that idea hard enough, those people aren't going to take that job, no matter how much they jack up the sign-on bonus for it. But yeah, I think that that's a good note to end on, and that is this episode of Tech Hell. Congratulations. We did a podcast in under 2 hours.
Holy shit, and we kept our points nice and concise. Whoa, who did we get replaced by, dude? We should hire them more often. This podcast brought to you by ChatGPT, by the way.
Yeah. This has been all chat. This has been AI generated by the latest Grok.
Yeah,
we just had to teach them what anti-Italian discrimination was.
Yeah, we had to. Here's the thing: like, you can feed fucking Grok everything I've ever said, and I think I would give it mental illness. So maybe we should start doing that to poison the data sets. The data sets being my fucked up mind, man. If you saw what was happening in my brain at any given moment, you would go insane.
Wait, your fucked up mind?
Yeah.
I do find it funny that people have apparently...
So loud!
People have apparently started posting to Twitter to poison Grok that, like, cleaning your Cybertruck with, like, lemon juice and a toothbrush...
Oh, no!
...is the best way to go.
Oh, no!
Use Brillo pads. And, of course, they're all stupid tech bros, so they believe it.
You should put stickers of, like, Demon Slayer on your Tesla. It'll make it look cool, okay?
You know what? To play us out one more time...
It's time to play the game! Time to play game! Ass!
The imagination part kills me every time.
Yeah! Okay, you know that's a real ass YouTube poop because it brought in the fucking an angry video game nerd for no reason.
Oh yeah, Butler's the fucking master.
Yeah, no, good props to you, dude. That's a I think that's what the kids call a certified hood classic.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, we will see y'all later.
Goodbye.